After weeks of anticipation, the U.S. Senate finally released a bill that is supposed to help secure the border while providing aid to both Israel and Ukraine. The total price tag of the supplemental bill, $118 billion. A bipartisan group of negotiators crafted the 370-page measure, which includes $60 billion in military assistance for Ukraine, $20 billion for border security, including a border wall construction, $14 billion for Israel, and $10 billion for humanitarian aid to Gaza, along with Judea and Samaria. Even before most senators were able to read the bill, Democrat Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said he wanted to hold a vote on it by Wednesday, somewhat akin to former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's infamous line, "We need to pass the bill so we can find out what's in it." But current House Speaker Mike Johnson has already called the bill, which would still allow thousands of illegal immigrants to enter the U.S. every day, dead on arrival, posting on social media, quote, "I've seen enough. This bill is even worse than we expected and won't come close to ending the border catastrophe the president has created," end quote. Last week, the speaker announced the House will vote on a clean bill to send Israel $14.3 billion this week. We'll have more on Biden's border crisis later in the newscast. Joe Biden secured a strong victory among those who voted in Saturday's South Carolina Democrat primary, but there is more to the story. Only 4% of total registered voters in the Palmetto State even bothered to cast a ballot. So while the Secretary of State's website shows Joe Biden won 96% of the Democrat primary vote, he did not win it with an enthusiastic electorate. Of the state's 3,226,353 registered voters, only 131,870 cast a ballot. Self-help author Marianne Williamson finished a distant second with just over 2% of the vote, while Minnesota Congressman Dean Phillips finished third with just under 2%.
So let's switch to the election real quick. When an incumbent like Joe Biden wins the South Carolina primary with only 4% of total registered voters turning out, what does that say about enthusiasm for a candidate in 2024?
I would say it says that they're not very enthused. And I mean, how could you be when gas is high, groceries are high, everything is through the roof now. And then, we have a border crisis that, the people in his administration say everything is fine. We don't have a border crisis. What are you talking about? So there are so many instances of where this administration has failed us, and people are sick and tired of it.
Yeah, to your point, Keisha, New York City Mayor Adams has promised millions in prepaid credit cards for illegal immigrants or migrants to the city. Now, even celebrities like 50 Cent are saying they may have to vote for Trump this fall. Are residents of the Big Apple right to be angry about this newest giveaway?
Absolutely. When we have illegals coming into our country, what we have to understand as Americans, though our heart is big, these illegals are taking away from our birthright, our children's birthright. And so we have to take these things seriously. And I pray that the residents of New York vote this man out.
Now, you posted this morning about an organization called When We All Vote that Michelle Obama co-chairs. What is that? What are they up to, Keisha?
So When We All Vote, they are on a very strategic plan to go into the schools. They are already there. They've been there in the schools since 2018, and they are getting eligible high school students organized to vote. And it is part of the reason why we see this uptick of young people voting and being more engaged and involved on the left. We have to engage our children. We have to talk to them ourselves. The left, they are going right directly to the children. So although we can go to school boards and do policy, we certainly have to be engaged with the children directly and give them another narrative to listen to.
And that's what you've been about for a long time with the mass exodus movement. Keisha King, thank you so much for reminding us and for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. Mike?
Greg, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg is on defense after releasing most of the illegal immigrants caught on video attacking police officers without bail. Last weekend, 7 suspects were arrested and charged following the vicious attack in Times Square. According to the Daily Mail, the suspects are believed to have fled the city by bus using a church-affiliated migrant charity. Bragg defended his decision during a press conference.
in a court of law, and our profound obligation is to make sure we have the right people charged with the right crimes.
The attack occurred when officers attempted to disperse a disorderly group near a Midtown migrant shelter. All of those arrested were charged with assault on a police officer, among other charges. One 24-year-old was arraigned in Manhattan criminal court on Thursday and is the only one held on bail. New York City Mayor Eric Adams' administration is reportedly giving $53 million in prepaid credit cards away to illegal immigrant families staying in city hotels. According to the New York Post, city records show the pilot program run by Mobility Capital Finance will provide illegal aliens arriving at the Roosevelt Hotel with the city cash to help them buy food. The cards can only be used at bodegas, grocery stores, supermarkets, and convenience stores. Criticism was swift from New York City residents already facing delays and changes in their own need for city services. Rapper and filmmaker 50 Cent posted that the policy might even make him vote for Donald Trump in 2024, stating maybe Trump is the answer. The housing of just over 66,000 illegal immigrants is expected to cost the city roughly $10 billion through the year 2025.